So
Yes.
now that we're talking a little bit more about the DJs and the obnoxious people that come around the scene often, now let me ask you this, and
Oh boy.
this is something I asked Phil.
Okay.
This question I asked my previous interviewer, Lucho. Shout out to
Yes.
him. I asked this, and surprisingly, both of them gave me a different answer, in which both of them I respectfully agree with them. I don't have
Okay.
any disagreements, and I understand where they're coming from.
Okay.
I stand more on Phil's answer, but I want to hear your answer. As
boy.
a person that's not a DJ, you are a promoter
Yes.
and a raver, and you may actually have like a fair point of view to say like, okay, maybe I actually side with this. Not saying that neither one of them answer incorrectly. No,
So once I answer, can you tell me what they said to see whose side I fell on?
I'm gonna give you the question, and you give me and the answer will be like more linked to like, okay, I may be on his or on this one.
Okay.
And then I'll explain to you. You give me the answer, and I'll explain you the answer they both of them gave.
Right.
And then you tell me which one you lean on. So the question is, I'm not trying to conquer or divide anything. This is your perspective. This is your view.
Okay.
Yes.
Ooh.
What do you believe in a DJ or slash promoter or DJ slash promoter that hasn't done any music and they're calling themselves the artists?
Like they don't produce music?
Yeah.
That's what you're saying? And they're calling themselves an artist?
Yes, a DJ slash promoter.
He's just a promoter with a DJ set at home.
Okay.
You can't call yourself an artist if you're not making music. I'm sorry.
Okay. I respect that. So the answer that Phil gave me was similar to that one. He says that, you know, like, all right, so if you call yourself an artist, what happens when you're with an AR or a manager or an agent of some sorts, and they ask you, it's like, oh yeah, you're an artist? It's like, yeah, I DJ trap music. It's like, oh shoot, what's your SoundCloud? Oh, my SoundCloud is this. You got any songs? Release it. What?
Exactly.
You know, any songs? Like you got songs, you know, that we can check on. It's like, oh no, I got it. I got them right there in my mixes.
I mean, you could be a DJ and play other people's music and make a hell of a set, but that's just what you are. You're a DJ that's getting booked. You're not an artist. An artist is someone that produces music and plays their music and somebody else's music on a set, but you're producing music for the label that you're with. That's how I see it. And
then we will go down to Lucho's answer. And his answer was like, well, because you're a DJ is a sort of an art. Like you're DJing no matter.
It is. No, it's not an art. And I'm going to correct him.
Okay.
It's not an art. It's a skill.
I look at it as a skill. Maybe hardcore DJs will look at it as an art because maybe that's their main job and this is their passion. Like not everybody can mix 5 songs into one set. But that's a skill. That's a skill. And I'm very good at it. And I'm very so on the scratching. I don't really need scratching on dubstep. Right. Just mid transitions and whatnot. That's the gist of it. But yeah, so that's why I'm leaning more to Phil's side because I agree with him in that perspective. I didn't disagree on Lucho. I did agree with like, okay, I understand
see his perspective.
Yeah, but
man, he's gonna grill my ass if he sees this.
I hope not.
Damn. I see his perspective. But he's a producer as well. He produces music, so he is an artist.
So he is I give him that he is an artist. So yeah, I give it to him like that. But I was saying that like, you know this, and we know people. We both know people that never DJ in their lives, and they were just promoters, and then they get themselves a leg up for someone, and now they're DJ, and now they're calling themselves artists. I'm like,
you're a DJ.
Yeah. And I'm one of those people that say like, you're not an artist, bro. When you're releasing music on a label, consider yourself an artist.
Right. And then Lucho, in that case, he is an artist.
He is an artist because not only he releases music, but he also has a record label.
He does. And then the guys that he has on his record label, which love them all, shout out to them all.
Yes.
They are releasing their music through there, so that they are DJs now, artists. That yes.
The reason I asked this is
He's
because
gonna kick my ass.
There you go. There you go.
He's gonna kick my ass.
Safe. The reason I ask this is because I hate the connotation that I always see every time I look around and I see this person that deserts that VIP treatment just because he's one of the headliners. It's like, bro, like cool your titties, all right? You're not a
Call me tits.
they're like, come on, you haven't released a song with Ed Session, so calm the fuck down, all right? You're not an artist. You're just a simple promoter who wanted to be a DJ because of the fame and the glory and the hoes
Right. But
and
you see, but that also falls in you could also apply that to the promoters. Little promoters that come and go, that maybe sell like 2-3 tickets, not mentioning names, and they swear that they deserve to be backstage because they know the person that's running the festival. No, you sold 2 tickets. That's it. You don't deserve shit. You should be grateful.
Yeah.
You should be grateful that you got a general admission to begin with.
Exactly. And we both know people who.
Oh, for sure. And I called out, and this person, she went on social media and started blasting out the event and complaining because she didn't get her VIP. And I usually don't get involved in social media wars, but I had to speak up. And I reminded her that everybody in that promoting team sees everybody's numbers, and she only sold 2. She had no rights to claim for VIP or any special perks because you didn't really make any money for the company. So
exactly.
how are they gonna like, treat you? Secondly, you just burn your bridge with that company and every other promoting company out there, because if you had a little outburst on social media, putting them out on blast because you didn't get VIP tickets, imagine if your check is late. Or imagine if they forget to pay you. You're going to pull them out on blast as well. That's not professional. No. I had an issue with someone in the past, which
yeah,
not mentioning names.
Yeah.
And Phil and I never went on social media. Nobody outside of the circle knew what was happening. Just you and everybody else that was involved. Mm-hmm. But we never burned that bridge. And then circle around 3 years later, we're working with him again and everything's great because there's that respect.
Yeah.
And as a promoter and any future little promoter that wants to be in this business, yeah, shit happens, but you do not put that company out on blast because, yeah, you got fucked up this time around. It could have been an error on anybody's end because there's so many people working that event that the ball does tend to, to fall.
Yeah.
So you got fucked to this event. All right, whatever. I'm sorry. But we're going to hire you again next time. And maybe next time, since you do better, then we'll treat you better. But you didn't burn that bridge. It's basically what I'm saying. You don't burn the bridges. You don't. You settle it between you and this person outside of social media.
I agree. And so often that we see that more than ever. Like before, it was very close when you know that somebody blasted you. Now it's like everybody will know because of social media. And it's unfortunately that nowadays social media has become like the spot in which there's so much negativity and people out of nowhere got the cojones for nowhere to start calling you out. And when you see them face to face, they're like,
I didn't say that.
I mean, you took that out of context. That's not what I meant. I'm saying that in general. It's like, no. This is some words that I know that it was directly to me.
I'm going to quote my favorite female DJ. Nicole Motterberg. She has a quote that says, "I'm not scared of your fucking screenshots. I know what the fuck I said."
I love that.
And that's my motto.
I love that. And I always keep it real with everybody. Yeah. I cannot. There's no room for bullshit. Like, why am I playing this high school bullshit dramas? Like, why? I always try to keep it real with everybody, that's how I am. I'm a very private person. Like if I have problems with somebody, I'll tell them to their face. I'm not gonna go ahead and blast them.
No, that's just being a coward little bitch. And I'm sorry. And if she's watching this and she knows it's you, not gonna say her name.
If the shoe fits, wear it.
It's like, I mean, I would understand if she sold 20. 30.
I agree. Yes. I agree.
Then your name wasn't on the list.
Yeah.
Granted. Okay,
then I'll be mad as well. Yes.
For sure. But you don't go blasting them. You go the day of the event. You speak to whoever's running that event. Be like, hey, so-and-so, I sold these tickets. I think I should be backstage, or I think I should get comped, or whatever. They're like, you know what? Absolutely. Because it's happened to me and Phil. It's happened on several other events where they forgot to put us on the list. But calmly. We talk to the person. We explain to them, like, okay, shit, my bad. Rah, rah. Welcome to VIP. You know what I mean? But not once did we ever blast anybody on social media. It's business, not personal,
And we know a lot of people who does that a lot.
Oh my God, for sure.
And that's like, bro, and this is how you burn your bridge, bro. This is how exactly how I just laugh about it. I just look at this, screenshot it, send it to the person. It's like, I guess we're the bad guys now.
Yeah. And the sad thing is that, I mean, I'll tell you her name. I think you know who it is, but I'll tell you after this. She's never promoted again. No one wants to work with her.
I feel like, she worked with us, right?
Yeah. Long time. She was longer with us. She came in with Paul. That's how long she's been in this industry.
I have an idea. Not gonna say the name, but we'll talk about it afterwards. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And boy, you know what? I'm like you in that department in which not the plastic part, the more of the did you do the work? Oh, if you didn't do the work, then what the fuck are you complaining about? I'll be on your ass about that because I believe credit where credit is due.
Of course.
And if my credit is not being reflected, I'll make sure it is. Like, I'll let them know, like, hey, yo, like, I did the hours. Like, come on, cut me some slack at least,
Yeah.
And I proved them. I did something that I keep telling everybody, nobody has ever done this. And I'm proud that I did it because I demonstrate them like, I'm not here to fuck around. I'm here to work. I did over 300 hours of street promo for Life in Color.
I could vouch for that. Yeah.
Yeah. And you were there. You were there a couple of times, and even on the festivals, like, and I've even done road trips and whatnot. It's got to the point like, Life in Color just gave me 10 free tickets for my hard work because they acknowledged it.
But you did it. You did the work.
I did the work. And it got me to play for Yellow Claw and and the Life in Color Festival in the local area. I didn't care where I ended up playing. My name was there in the flyer. I did my hard work. It got to the point that I remember Lucho told me, and he didn't call me out. He called me up to tell all the other DJs, you better do something or you're out. He said it, and I quote, was like, let's leave it at 7 for Rafa. Rafa, I'm tired of looking at his face. It's like, damn, bro, what the hell did I do? It's like, I'm tired to look at his face because I see him every weekend.
Every weekend
I see him.
I remember that we were so excited because I was asked to help for an event in Club Cinema as the ticket person.
Yes.
And I had to go to the Life in Color headquarters in downtown. And I met all the people and they trained me how to use the machine and whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, Beto was like the best experience ever. Like, I made it, Mama. I made it.
Mama, I made it to Forbes.
I made it. And then you went in there for something else regarding Life in Color. You're like, Vix, the place was fucking beautiful.
Bro, that was the day that I got the free 10 tickets. It's like, do whatever you want. Like, give it to others or sell it, whatever. Yeah. When I was there, I was like, man, I made it. I'm in the headquarters. Like, what the fuck?
They're like, Vixen, hi. Yeah, here's the machine. I'm like, he knows my name.
I remember I took like 30 pictures. I was like,
oh my God,
that's a template thing.
Like the graffiti colors that we had in the hallway.
Oh, absolutely. Heaven. I was like,
heaven. I made it. I was like,
yeah.
I made it.
Yeah. So like, oh my God, that was a good time. Great accomplishments in those,
And here we are, so many years later.
Doing our thing, still doing it, kicking it strong, we ain't going nowhere,
Nope. Rave to the grave.
Absolutely. Well, in my case, DJ to the grave. Yeah. Even though I haven't DJed in a long time, I wouldn't mind DJ once in a while. I'm just like,
you're in another mindset right now.
Yeah.
Another mindset.
Yeah, I got too many things in my head that like I want to do. This is one of them. I want to progress this more. And then I guess like in that aspect, what you said earlier is like, I can hook you up for all these festivals to interview. It's like, I'll have to, I'm investing. I'm invested. Like I got the microphones, I got the cables, I got the camera.
I got the connections. I got you.
Yeah. So like anytime you tell me it's like, oh, well, I'll do a 30-minute podcast interview, like very short, simple, straight to the point.
Pretty
Let's
much
get
like
to
what
it.
they do. I could see you doing like what they do in Ultra. That they have like little 5-10 minute interviews.
Yes.
DJs before they play or after they play.
Yeah.
Like something like that. I see it.
Yeah. And you know, I got you, I got Lucho's. Like, hopefully, like this will help me out progress even further because I just love doing it. You know,
Yeah,
I love this more than I love DJing or producing music. Believe it or not, and I cannot say I've never released on a label. I did. I released on the Artist Intelligence Agency.
Mm-hmm.
That's a label. That's a stamp label, contract, and everything. So I made a goal.
You did.
I got other goals in my head, like maybe in the down the future, would love to release with Disciple Roundtable.
Okay.
And Monster Cat. If I get to Monster Cat,
that's it.
Like I'm not gonna release any more music because like I'm just leaving my stamp right there. Just say like I made it to Monster Cat.
You made it.
I'm happy.
That's it.
I'm done. I'm good. I'm gonna continue more on this. So now I remember when I stopped coming into these shows. Or maybe let me put it this way. I might give you an explanation of how the industry treated me after I start giving a fuck.
Okay.
So when things got a little bit, you know, down the road with me and my demons, I literally stopped giving a fuck. Like I could care less if I was promoting. I could care less if I was posting on social media. I could care less whether I was making music, DJ. Like I put so much pressure on it, and at the same time, I was fighting within me, and it was a lot. And even with all that, I saw how the industry treated me as a second-class citizen, and not the treatment that I worked in. Maybe it's because I stopped giving a fuck about it when I should, but I had so much shit in my life that I have to.
Your headspace wasn't right. Yeah, and I got it.
And then when the industry got me like at that level, like damn, bro, this is how I am. Like this is what I am to you guys. Like a second class. I'm worth nothing. I'm just I'm replaceable. This is like all right, bet.
But that's where you need to grow thick skin and understand it's a business. It's business, not personal. So not that they don't like you, not that they didn't think that you were not a cool guy, but in a business perspective, you weren't producing for them.
Right.
So you get it's not that they dropped you as a person at all.
No.
They just dropped you as an asset.
Yes, in a matter of sense, yes. I have no ill manners about it. I just feel like, oh wow, like this is the ugly side to it, and I had to step back even more and like stop completely. And I thought that maybe if I focus myself on producing music and just focus on that, maybe I can come back again and do the fade. But unfortunately, it didn't progress that far for many reasons. Not one of them is the music. Not many people were fucking with it on the labels, and that put me down because I was like, God damn.
But by the time that you came out, dubstep and trap wasn't popping. Well known yet. Yeah, it was still new. It wasn't as popular as it is now. Yeah. Although it's safe to say from what I'm seeing, what's coming up again, it's more of the trance tech house vibe. Yeah. That dubstep trap thing, it's still there, but it's not as high in demand as it was
before. Yeah. So obviously I was fighting a very, very competitive style because obviously there's not that demand. And if there's not that demand, there's no me. There's no sense of me.
There's no booking. There's no music. There's nothing.
Exactly. And so I saw how the industry treated me. And, I try to fight back and I couldn't succeed much. So it's like, I stepped back from all of it, from DJing, from producing, from everything. I didn't want to know anything about clubs or anything. I stepped back and before you know it, I was just genuinely happy.
Good.
And it all started when the whole COVID thing was popping. Yeah. So that's when I stopped legitimately making music and stopped caring about. I step away social media. I was feeling happy. At the same time, I feel like I needed something to fulfill myself, like something that's related to the industry that I know because I generally want to continue to be part of it.
So why don't you do something like a live stream just for yourself and to share with your friends and just to still like jump in it, but not because you want to, not because you have to, is what I'm trying to say.
Right. I mean, that's the generally idea of why I started the podcast, because
Okay.
the podcast, it was that leg up, that thing that fulfilled me, the characteristic
Right.
that drives me to continue pursuing it more and more and more and more and more.
Love it.
And that's why I'm doing it. I'm trying to get as much of my homies as possible to come in and join in. We're just having a talk. It's just a couple of questions, be free about yourself. And the purpose of doing the podcast is what I said earlier, is like, this is an educational podcast. I'm trying to guide, give people advice, show them the ropes, share them my experience. This is how I felt at the time. This is how it worked. This is how it do. Don't do this, don't do that. Do this, do that. If you want to do this, all right, then this will happen. If you want to do this, then this will happen. So this is why I'm focusing heavily more on the podcast, because it gives me that liberty to do all those sorts of things.
Of course.
What I'm saying in all this, when I'm trying to just share you with this, it's because I'm gonna come and pay attention to you on how the industry treats you as a female promoter.
Where do I start?
Yeah.
So starting with committee, all guys, the only girl. I wasn't really taken seriously. Phil was always the face of Elements of Night.
Mm-hmm.
Every decision that Lucho made, or Pepe, or any other event coordinator, they will go straight to Phil.
Right.
Leaving me on the side corner, like, oh, she's just a girl. She's irrelevant. So it wasn't until maybe like my first year, I started finding my voice. I started speaking out more. I started being more vocal. There were several arguments between myself and Lucio.
Yes. Boy, do I remember.
But I felt at that time it needed to be done to show them, like, fuck, I'm here too. I'm hustling just as hard as the guys. I have a fair shot here, not because I'm a pretty face or I'm a girl. I'm not going to be taken seriously. So I hustled just as hard as Phil, just as hard as you, just as hard as the other guys in the team. And I think that's why I've earned my respect even to this day, and I'm proud to say that being in a male dominating world, I'm still here after so many years.
Right. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I chose you at that time, my first manager ever. That's why I chose you, because of that aspect, that I have a voice. Hear me, and people will hear you.
Oh,
people will hear you.
And they did.
And they did.
They did.
And they did. But it's because of that confident voice that you had that demonstrated people. It's like, I'm not a pusher. I'm not here. Don't push me aside. Like, I can do things. I have a voice. I have the stuff to say what I gotta say and do what needs to be done,
And I mean, I'm proud to say that I'm the brains behind Elements of Night. Sorry, Phil.
Sorry.
But I was the marketing aspect. I still am the marketing aspect of Elements of Night. I'm the little social butterfly. I'm the one going out there meeting new people. I'm the one directing traffic to our websites and whatnot. Right. He's more the behind the scene guy, contracts, numbers. That's his job. And like I was telling you earlier before we started the interview, he was my best friend before we started dating.
Right.
Then we dated, we got into the business, we got married, and then we somehow lost the aspect of the marriage and just became roommates/business partners. And I think the reason why we're still so close now, we were able to work together after this divorce, is because we were best friends before anything. And that is still there. That foundation is still there. And I don't think it's going to go away. Our kids, they still keep in contact with each other. We still keep that tight family unit. They understand we're not together, but they're still siblings to a sense. And that's, I mean, I've seen a lot of couples that go into this industry. Alex Shambach and Fate, and huge. They were like my idol. They're like, dude, I want to
Alex and Hope.
And Hope. It's like they were like, But
Mm,
unfortunately, I understand things in this industry is hard, especially when you have a partner in this business. You get so it's sad that we couldn't last as a couple, as a marriage couple,
mhm.
but we're still badasses in the
Yeah.
business industry. And I think the reason why is because they females soft feel like, oh, he's a promoter, he's a DJ, you know, if I flirt with him, he'll probably get me in and da 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 da, you know, and then guys will be like, oh, she's fucking hot, you know, but you know, maybe if I slide into her DMs, she'll probably like hook me up and blah 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 blah, and shit happens. It's really hard to keep a relationship faithful and honest
Yeah.
in this industry. Um, but you learn from it. You learn from it, and whew, you pray for the best.
Hey, take your time, man. Take your time.
Whew, that was hard.
Yeah. I know how it feels. Like, if you don't want to talk about it, we can move on.
No, I'm all for it. Let's go. Let's do
Okay.
it.
I wanted to ask you how does it feel like being the couple and then being the non-couple? Was there any changes during being the promoters couple or non-couple now in the single? Like,
Okay.
did you notice any? And did you notice any different treatments when you were with before, during, and after?
When I was the wife,
Yeah.
it was all strictly business. No guys were like hit on me or
Right.
anything. Like they just kept it professional.
Okay.
As soon as the world found out that I was single, I was getting DMs all the time from guys that I thought had like no interest in me. All of a sudden, like, hey, can I take you out to dinner? You know, I've always liked you, and da 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 da. I mean, like,
So
meh?
forward. Wow. Hey.
Like, you know what it felt like? You know when they're saying happy birthday to you and you don't know what to do, that awkward moment? That's what it felt like. I was like,
Yeah.
you liked me?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I even had a guy, not mentioning names. He's like, oh, I always liked you, but you know, you're with Phil and I respected Phil and blah, 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 blah. But I would like, you know, to take you out to dinner and da, 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 da. Cool. Great. All right. Went to dinner. That guy had a full business proposal on how to merge his company with mine. That was my date.
Wow. Savage.
I was like, okay, thanks.
I had a different perspective of this, but okay. Wasn't
So yeah, so dating in my world is hard because you don't know if the guy's generally coming for you because you're Jeanette or because of what VixenJ stands for.
Yeah. It's very hard, you know, like as a perspective of like why are you dating me? Like what
Why
is
are
it that
you
you're
here?
Yeah.
What do you want? Who's
Like, what do
coming
you
to
want?
town that you want to see in VIP? Like,
yeah. And that's gotta be how do
It's
you
weird.
feel about that? Like, you know, when they come over you like with DMs and like that, like instead of hearing like a date, no, I want bits and J.
And he kept calling me throughout the whole date Vixen. Like, that's not my name. My name's Jeanette. And there's some guys that don't know how to separate the two. I'm Jeanette 24 hours, 365 days a year.
Mhm.
I'm Vixen at night when I'm promoting, when I'm working. That's my job. If you're not coming to meet me as Jeanette, then you have no business in my life.
Exactly.
At all.
I agree.
At all. And the person that I'm seeing now, I'm so grateful that he's pretty much at the same caliber as I am. So I don't have to be like, oh, he's just using me to get into VIP. Vice versa. He's not like, oh, she's just trying to get into the festival. No, because he knows very well that I could get myself in my own festivals and I could get myself in VIP. So that whole bubble, I guess, of, oh, is she using me or is he using me?
Mhm.
It's not there. It doesn't exist.
How often you hear that from people?
I've lost friends because of that.
Really?
I've had friends that I've stopped talking to for years because they will only talk to me to get in the club or to be in VIP with me. But then when they were having events, family events outside of the nightlife, I wasn't included. I was only included for the nighttime events.
Wow.
Yeah. So I I stopped talking to her for like 3 years. We just recently reconnected. She was my high school friend. She was my maid of honor, and I was her maid of honor at each other's weddings. And I have a hard time like fully communicating myself with people that are like in my circle.
Right.
Like, although I'm very vocal, I'm a firecracker, I'll fucking flip your bird, I don't give a fuck. But if you're inside my circle, it's different. I guess I'm more vulnerable. So I tend to hold back things that bother me because I don't want to like hurt you, or I don't want to make it weird. But with her, it was so excessive that I just stopped talking to her. I cold turkey, cut her off. I wanted nothing to do with her. Nothing. Because if you can't have me in your life as Jeanette, then you can't have me as Vixen. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's sad. It's very sad that, in this industry, we always gonna be, friends become foes.
Yeah.
They come and they go in our lives, and we lost touch. Especially the ones that burn bridges. Those are like the hard ones, because you can never go back, and not even if you try to attempt to make it's not gonna be the same.
Right.
And I've never burned the bridge with anybody, but people have burned bridges to me.
Yeah.
And I make it very clear that our bridges burn by not talking to you at all.
Or
not having any sorts of communication. I'm pretty sure the people that have burned bridges with me.
Yeah.
We're not gonna discuss it. We're not gonna call names. This is not blasting it. We can talk about it afterwards. But and when people talk to me about that those certain people, I do it. I'm very honest and brutal, but at the same time respectful. I don't badmouth anybody, but I tell them just be careful. Because I had a situation with this person and it didn't work out. And if anybody always talks highly about the person, and I will not badmouth them or talk shit about them, I'll just like, oh yeah, he's a cool dude. He's a cool dude. Yeah.
Well,
he's a cool person.
I mean, because let's, for example, you and I got in a huge fight.
Yeah.
Right. Which but we hashed it out. We hashed it out.
Yes.
But like, let's say we did it, right? And I'm like, oh my God, Beto, he's such a dick. He was such a dumbass. Da, 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 da. But then Jesse comes along, and Jesse's like, oh my God, Beto's killing it. His career is skyrocketing it. I'm not gonna disagree with her. That's her opinion, her view on
exactly. Yeah.
You had a different relationship with her versus me. So my view is always going to be different. So why am I going to be like, that's not true, he's a dick, da 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 da? Like, no. The Beto that she knows is not the Beto that I know during that situation. So that's why I don't bash anybody. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool, that's great. I wish him well. I hope he does great.
Wish them well, man.
Why am I going to hate him? And I had a fallout. All right, shit happens, but I'm not going to fucking hate him. That's first of all, that takes way too much energy out.
Yes. Exactly.
It gives me wrinkles. I'm 42, babe, and I look fucking amazing.
Don't say that. Don't say.
There's no need. There's no need for your negativity to.
And that's how I kept. That's how I kept my life going like that. It's like if people like to talk shit about me, I was like, well, let them. You know what? The people that know me, they know who I am.
Exactly.
So they know
that's all that matters.
Exactly. They know that I'm not that type of person or will be capable of doing something like that. So hey, man, kudos. If that's going to give them some clout, I bet.
No, I've heard stuff about me. I'm here like, really? Me? Miss, whenever I was at an event, I was full-blown professional. I was never fucking getting drunk. I was never getting wasted. I was on point every time after time, and you're gonna say this shit about me? That's fucked up.
And that's another thing, because I have heard people talking shit about you, and I'm like, what? Nah, bro. What are you talking about? I'm with her most of the time.
I whatever.
Yeah, bro, whatever.
I've heard, oh, she slept with so and so. I'm like, no, I don't.
No, I was kind of there.
But
that didn't happen, but okay.
No. Oh, she did this. And I would even make fun of myself, because even at events, girls were nearly half naked, and I look like a fucking nun in jeans with a t-shirt. But yet you're calling me a skank, and you're saying this and this and that. Okay.
The hypocrisy.
Okay.
Okay. it's funny how sometimes some of these people, these haters gonna hate,
They're
you
haters.
know.
But the thing with me is what you see is what you get. I don't pretend to be something that I'm not.
Mhm.
And I am consistent with that because it's who I am. I'm not pretending. So you could come to over my house. It's Jay on point 24/7. When it comes to the business, I'm a businesswoman. I am promoting my company. At the time I was managing
Right.
Phil. So I was promoting Phil. I was getting Phil's name out there. I am a businesswoman. I'm VixenJ. I'm working. Yeah, we party. That's great. But you're never going to see me trash. You're never going to see me, making out with fucking randoms in the corner. Like, no, that's not me. Why? Because I have a reputation that follows. You get?
Exactly.
Not only that, but I have kids. My kids are on social media. They don't need to be like, oh shit, my mom was twerking her ass on stage. Nah, dude, there's no need for
Nah.
that. I keep it classy. And I do even to this day. I see promoters, girl promoters out there in fucking selling their asses and shit just to get in the door. I don't need to do that because why? My venues, my events speaks for themselves. I don't need to fucking sell myself for you to come get a bottle from me.
I mean,
Sorry.
that generally shows the difference between Vitz and the promoter and those other girls who are
rats.
trying to promote and try to get leg up.
They're bottle hole rats. That's what I call them.
Bottle hole rats. Wow. I didn't say that. I just repeating her words, okay, guys? So
they're irrelevant. And the thing is that where I'm at now, we're constantly getting promoters because we need promoters. We need
Right.
to generate sales. And I don't even bother learning their names because I know within a month or two they'll be gone. So I'm like,
they come and go. Let me ask you, because I know when we were back in the day, a lot of people did come and go.
yeah.
And I'm surprised
we were the original crew. We were with the original that
Exactly.
lasted for a long, long time.
Yeah. And that also happens with these quote unquote up and coming DJs. Like, I'm gonna be the next Tiesto.
Yeah, no.
How often do you actually see that? Really?
Well, from local DJs
Mhm.
blowing up, I'll have to give it to Big and Slim.
Obviously.
They're doing great.
Mhm.
DNA has made their mark as well. Oddity has made his mark. Other than that, that's it. Well, Lucho, but Lucho's a piece of his own.
Yeah,
so
no, that he's at a
he's in a
different
category of his own.
Yeah, like I would not call him a much of a local. That he plays locally, yes, he
Yes.
does play locally, but I wouldn't call him at that level local because he does travel.
He does.
He does
He
DJ
does.
on other tours, so he does.
He
He
does.
has his own thing.
See, you see what I did there? I'm trying to kiss ass for the comment that I made before. Hint, hint.
You didn't say anything wrong. I'll give you that.
It's a skill.
But
It's a skill.
you didn't say anything wrong, and he didn't
didn't.
say anything wrong.
He didn't. It's just a different perspective.
And I asked for your perspective. I didn't ask you for anything else. I just
But
asked you.
I love him. I love him. He's an awesome DJ. Every time he's at Treehouse, he brings it, and I am very proud of him from my heart.
Absolutely, especially all the crap he had to endure for the years that I've been with him, all the
For
crap that
sure.
he had to endure to get to
sure.
the position where he is. Like
Mhm.
he made himself a stamp.
He did.
But and let me ask you, you say that out of the local DJs,
Mhm.
that only comes up in your head that they put a name on it.
Mhm.
So those are the only ones that you say, like, man, these guys, they're gonna make it. Do you
Mhm.
still believe that?
Yes.
How far do you think like these guys are gonna go in your honest perspective? I'm not trying to bash them at all, and I'm happy that these guys are doing their thing. I wish I could be in that same list with them. Because-
Like I said earlier, that style of music that they play is not as popular now as it was back then.
Right.
So it is harder
For them,
for them to play. But I think with the newer generation that's coming into the EDM world, they're falling in love with that style of music. And if that's the case, I think they're going to be around for quite some time. As long as the fan base is there, they should be fine.
Because I know Big and Slim are very active in
Yes.
social media.
They are.
They're very active, and kudos to those two guys. It
Mhm.
sucks that the Slim had to move out of South Florida, but obviously
Yeah,
for the good for him,
of course.
And it's funny how like because they produce music together.
They mhm.
So like when I heard that that he moved out, I was like, oh man, that sucks, bro. I hope this doesn't break them apart because I know
I
it's
don't think so. I don't think so. And it's funny because a lot of like duo DJs have been breaking up. Trust and Ceballos broke up.
who.
Uh Trust and Ceballos, tech house DJs. They just split up.
Um,
They're huge.
they
And
were
then
huge, and now
another
they're broken up.
and now they're broken up.
Okay,
And then another local big names, Cabaretta and Dooms, they broke up as well. So now
I
Dooms
have heard of them.
yeah. So it's sad, but I don't know. I don't think Big and Slim broke up though.
No,
I
they
think
never
they're
broke
still
up.
working together.
Yeah,
and
they
I'm sure they're gonna tour together, but it sucks because they were like thing one and thing two. They were always
exactly.
together.
They're inseparable. They're
Yeah.
like every time I see Big, I see
It's
Slim.
Slim.
If I see Slim,
Yeah.
I see Big. So
Right.
like they're the best friends. They're homies. Like
Yeah.
so it's kind of it's hard for me to like, damn, bro, like how these guys are doing it like separately because I've been a duo before I was Wolfson.
Right. I remember. I
You
met him.
remember? You will remember, and I don't know how much I appreciate it, and I thank you so much for breaking that contract that we were signed with that label.
That's how I decided to go back into law.
Because as the other day I was thinking, like, man, do you imagine if I was still
If you
under
would've
that
said
contract
no.
and I blew up? What happens if I blew up and I was still under that contract? Like,
Exactly. That was a bogus contract. I am so glad I helped you get out of it.
no, thank God.
But you know, can I be honest?
Yeah.
I walked in there not knowing what the fuck I was doing, but I walked in there like if I fucking owned it with your contract and you next to me, and I did all the talking. And the guy was like, who the fuck? Like, listen, he's done. He's done. He doesn't want to be here anymore. This person could take over. That's great. He's doing another style of music. It's not even this anymore. Blah, 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 blah. And after maybe it was like an hour of going back and forth with him, he's like, okay. I'm like, oh shit.
It
I
worked.
did it.
and it was that damn that Bitson knew she
I'm gonna be a
got
lawyer.
it.
I'm gonna be a lawyer.
You're gonna be a lawyer. And I think that's like the story when everybody tells you the story. What made you prompt you to become a lawyer? Just, well, back then, I was a manager for Wolfson. I didn't know nothing
I
about
didn't know what the
laws,
fuck I was doing.
but I knew what I had to be done.
Oh yeah, I used some big fancy words too. I was like, oh.
Hey, kudos, because imagine if I was still under that contract and I blew up.
Imagine.
That guy was still gonna be hunting down my ass with like, hey, you blew up and you still owe
And
me
that guy,
these songs.
that other guy, he's still with him, or
No,
he-
they
broke up.
They broke up because so the loophole in all this, because at the time when I was roommates with the two guys, because we're not receiving much monetary investment on
Right.
us, no promotions, no music or anything, there hasn't been anything monetary. So because he hasn't invested a dime on us, it was easier for us to split the contract and get me out of that contract.
Got it.
That's
That was easy.
that's why it was like very easy.
I know. And I'm like, oh shit, I did it.
Yeah. And then obviously by convincing the guy, it's like, hey, he's going to take off the brand. He's going to be the one in the brand. He's going to take off the name. I'm my own thing.
Yeah.
So
remember.
obviously that gave the leg up to say like, all right, we'll tear out the contract, null and void. As soon as I heard it was null and void, I was like,
Oh my God. I was like, is this really happening? I fucking did it.
Oh
I
my
fucking
God.
did it.
oh my God, you have no idea how happy and how grateful I am that day when you did it, man. But like, I mean, the guy didn't know what he was doing. I mean, he
No.
had the equipment, he had everything. He was the label owner, but
He had no idea what he was doing.
no,
Oh.
and the beast he was tackling was EDM, and he has zero experience with the EDM. And what's amazing, the more reason I wanted to get out is because I know more than him on the EDM scene.
Yeah.
So how the fuck you're supposed to be a record label owner? You're supposed to
And you
know
don't
more
know
than I
anything.
do about
Of
this.
course.
Why do I know more than you?
Right.
And some of the stuff that he was doing is just like, that's not how it works. That's not how EDM works. That's like, no, it doesn't make sense like that. It doesn't like, but I had to do it. At one point, I was like, dude, Charlie, like, I'm done. Like, I want to get out of here.
I'm
Like,
out.
and I was scared because of that, because we signed a contract and we had to do 10 songs.
I
Each of the songs
remember.
were named after and we initialed them. So I was just like, fuck, I gotta do these 10 songs. I'll give them away or something. Like, I'll do it. Fuck it. But yeah, and the same thing happened with him. Like, the guy wasn't given zero funds and he didn't know what he was doing. So he got out of that contract as well. Something about contracts, people. Read about the contracts, and if they haven't put any effort on it, you can still get out.
Yeah, because the contract was not being fulfilled.
Exactly.
See, I'm learning.
No, I mean, let me ask you, since now that you're actually want to be a lawyer, is that the route that you're taking? Like, what is it in particular that you're aiming for?
I just want to say that I did it. Okay. I mean, I had my AA in elementary ed, and then I have my certification in marketing, which is I love. And my daytime job, I'm for the real estate side. So I love law. I love fighting with people. Might as well get paid for it. So, but now that I'm pursuing law and I'm still in the real estate side, I wanted to do real estate property law. That's the field that I want to go into.
Real estate property law. What does that involve?
Legal contracts, leases with tenants, late fees and stuff like that.
Okay. Would you consider down the road, like, do anything related to the music aspect in the law?
Well, with the law that I'm getting into, since it deals with contracts and building contracts and whatnot, I could actually apply to whatever company is out there regarding contracts between the venue and the DJs and stuff like that. I'll be able to draft those contracts as well.
I got spaced out for a bit, but wait, well, hold on. So you're saying with the law that you actually get it into, it actually helps you even more on the music aspect by drafting contracts?
Yep.
So you can actually do a contract between a DJ and the label.
And whatever, the label, if I'm working for the label, or for the venue.
For the venue.
Or whatever it is that needs to be legally contracted between the artist and the person that's hiring him.
Wow. I may actually have to hire you. Damn, that's good to know. All right. I got my future lawyer for my publishing deals.
Can I say that I was able to draft my divorce decree on my own?
Shut up.
I did.
So your lawyer didn't do anything? You just did it on your own? Just like, all right, this is the paper.
This is it. We filed it.
What did the lawyer look at you? What did he say?
We didn't really need a lawyer because we don't have any properties together or any children together.
Oh. Just
the company. So it was a very easy dissolution of the marriage. So we wrote each other's divorce decree that I get 50% of Elements of Night. So it was very easy, very black and white. We went to the courthouse, submitted, and that was it. But I was the one that drafted the paperwork and the language and all that stuff.
Yeah, damn. Good job.
Thanks. Brains and beauty.
You know it, bro. Don't let it fool you. Don't let it fool this beauty to be like, oh, she's got no brain in it. That's what we call it in Spanish, la cara de pendeja.
No, my mom did not raise a pendeja. Sorry.
Por eso te hace la cara. La cara de...
La cara, pero no soy.
Yeah, no. My mom taught me that because she's very good at it.
Yep.
She's very good at saying, like, she's like, I don't understand. I'm stupid. Can you explain to me? She showed me that. I was like, how's this possible? I'm pretty sure you like, oh.
Got it.
So anywhere I go, I always know more than the topic than the person that I'm going with. So let's just say an example. I'm going to Best Buy. I know what laptop I want.
Right.
So I just pretend to be the stupid guy. So it's like, hey, where can I find this laptop? And then they tell me, it's like, yeah, but I won't recommend you getting this laptop. Get this laptop. Sure. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Why is that? Why is that? Oh, because of this, and that. It's like, that's it? That's pretty much it? That's why you want me? Yeah. It's only $100 more, but
Only.
it gets you to this, and that. It's like,
And you help him reach his commission for the month.
that's how I know about retails. I always they always try to fill me up with the most expensive because I used to work in retail. I used to work in Sports Authority.
Right.
So when they tell me, it's like you gotta sell the most expensive ones, like the Adidas, the Nikes, the Ace. It's sell them that. Those are the shoes. That's when you get the commission.
Right.
I guess I was very bad at it because
you never got commissions.
I ended up telling them, it's like, oh, just get the shoe. It'll do the same justice.
It does.
It does. And I get a lot of sales out of it, but
no commission.
There's no commission out of it. And then they get mad at me. It's like, why are you not selling this shoe? You got a lot of sales. Why are you not selling this shoe? And it's like, the person doesn't like the color, doesn't like the price. The price is too high. Like, and they're asking me for a medium one. So it's like, oh, well, this is the closest you get. No, you're supposed to sell the most expensive one. It's like, I bet. Like, nah, I don't got time for it. I'm too honest. I can't lie.
That's what it is. I can't do that.
Nah, I don't like dishonesty in anything. I'll just be too straightforward. Sometimes my girl says that a lot about me. It's like, you're too honest. Like, can you lie a little bit?
I can't. Like, my face will give it away like in a heartbeat. I can't. Parecite that at work, but this is the type of person I am. At work and in real life, I fuck up. I'll be the first one telling you, I fucked up. Why? Because I'd rather my boss hear it from me
than hear it from someone else.
From someone else, and then they added their bits and pieces that has nothing to do with what happened.
That's how I do it on a daily basis. It's like, if I fucked something, I was like, I fucked up.
I'll be the first one to apologize. Like, I'm sorry. And if I didn't even realize that I did something wrong, I would appreciate you telling me. I'd be like, fuck, dude, I didn't see that. I am so sorry. But I will apologize to you, whether it's on the spot or later on or what. I will get that apology out there.
I agree.